So I'm definitely not someone in the community that really talks a lot about GTA 6, especially when it's not information coming directly from Rockstar. I've only ever made two other GTA 6 videos on my channel. One was back in 2020 where I talked about how the GTA 6 title is still years away, and still to this point that is true. I mean, it's been already 3 years and it still hasn't been released since I made that video. The other GTA 6 related video that I made was talking about the leaks this past September. However, in recent news, we may have just figured out the release window for when GTA 6 will be released, as well as when we can likely receive news for this title that we've all been waiting so long for years now, almost a decade. So let's go ahead and discuss this news. Firstly, this news is coming from Spider-Vice on GTA Net, and I'll have a link to this article in the description. Now, this article has a lot in it, and I'm going to keep it as clear and concise as possible as to why we believe we figured out the release window for GTA 6. So why do we believe we figured out the GTA 6 time window or when it may release? Well, Take2 Interactive just had their quarterly financial conference to discuss financial results of the company. Now, Take2 Interactive is the parent company of RockstarGames. Now, what was most interesting about this particular conference was that this is the new fiscal year for Take2 Interactive. Essentially, the fiscal year 2024 would go from April of this year all the way to March of 2024. It's not the same of just traditional years. Fiscal years in the business or corporate world are different. And speaking of these fiscal years, this is really where the alert comes out and us figuring out or predicting the release time of GTA 6, because the net bookings for fiscal year 2025, which would be April 2024 to March of 2025, is expected to be $8 billion. Now, just put this in perspective of how off this is in terms of these huge expectations for the net bookings of 2025. The fiscal year 2023, which just ended this March, was 5.28 billion, and the net bookings for fiscal year 2024, which just began this April and are going to go until March of 2024, are expected to be between 5.45 billion to 5.55 billion. So you can definitely see how hugely different the expectations are for the past fiscal year, the upcoming fiscal year, and then now this fiscal year in 2025, which is $2.7 billion greater. Now, you also may be wondering what net bookings are. Net bookings essentially are the amount of products or services sold either digitally or physically during that period, and that would include licensing fees, merchandise, in-game advertising, strategy guides, and publisher incentives. And of course, these net bookings could be GTA 6, whether that be the actual game itself, physically or digitally, different merchandise such as like t-shirts or promotions for the game, promotion products, as well as the strategy guide. And even with the success of GTA Online over the past about 10 years now, we haven't seen an insane increase in expected net bookings since really the release of GTA 5. In fact, speaking of GTA 5, during the first quarterly meeting for the fiscal year 2012, which remember, because we're dealing with physical years, this would have been in early or mid 2011, there was an expected raise in the stock of Take-Two. And at the time, because there was no GTA title announced, a lot were wondering how's going to even be possible, because really Take-Two Interactive does not have these insane net bookings without a GTA title. But of course, later that year, in November of 2011, which would still have been fiscal year 2012, when these expected earnings were to increase and the stock was to increase, GTA 5 was announced. Now, if we consider this very similar scenario, it wouldn't be super surprising if we were to have an announcement of GTA 6 sometimes this year. In fact, there are other very reputable members in the community, such as TGKS that believes this is very possible. On top of that, Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take2 Interactive, has come out and stated in September of last year that the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series is well underway. Now, in terms of a release time, if we were looking at fiscal year 2025, because that is when these net bookings are projected to skyrocket according to Take2 Interactive, we could see a release date for GTA 6 around autumn of 2024. However, it is also not uncommon for Rockstar to delay their games. For example, with GTA 5, the net bookings were expected to increase around 2013, or what would have been the fiscal year of 2012, and the release for GTA 5 was expected to be inside the window of 2012. However, it ended up releasing just outside of that in fall of 2013, which would have been fiscal year 2014. Therefore, we could see a release for GTA 6, if not autumn of 2024. We could see it in spring of 2025, which would be the end of the fiscal year 2025, which is when these net bookings again are expected to increase, or it could even release in fall of 2025, which would be fiscal year 2026. Either way, I believe this is a very reasonable window to consider for a release for GTA 6, especially considering this recent news and also the possible delays, which Rockstar is very notorious for. In fact, I talked about in my GTA 6 related video back in 2020, it seems to be on average for Rockstar titles a 2-year gap between when it is initially announced and when it officially releases. So if GTA 6 follows a similar scenario, this window would end up being pretty spot on. And of course, once again, nothing is 100% confirmed until it is stated directly by Rockstar Games. In any case, guys, I hope you enjoyed this interesting video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share it, and let me know what you guys think about the possibility of an announcement for GTA 6 this year and a release either in late 2024 or sometime in 2025. As always, have a great day.